but fate had been decided and couldn't be defied. The old man looked at the daughter he'd raised with such care, his eyes blurring with tears. Just when she was about to achieve perfection by marrying into the palace, how could everything be so suddenly shattered? The girl argued that such happiness was only torture for her, but she would never forget her parents' kindness in raising her. Though she didn't want to leave the mortal world, what could she do by staying? Wrong herself and trample on father's efforts and wishes? These were all unbearable pains. With separation imminent, the family cried together. The old man remembered finding the girl as a tiny 3-inch being in his palm, changing her diapers, raising her bit by bit into adulthood. The old couple treated Kaguya as their own flesh and blood, but facing the moon messengers taking her away, they couldn't let her go. The old man wiped his tears and summoned his servants to discuss countermeasures. Mother watched her daughter grow increasingly despondent, so she prepared a carriage and sent her back to the countryside where she'd lived before. Kaguya saw Sudamaru again. He was a father now, but as they talked, they imagined what might have been if they'd ended up together. Perhaps they could have found true happiness. The boy looked at Kaguya in his arms and felt a fierce protective urge. They embraced. Sudamaru wanted to run away with Kaguya, forget the world, and live out their lives in anonymity. But in an instant, he realized it had all been an illusion, just a sweet dream, perhaps. The full moon arrived quickly. The old man had prepared to protect the princess. Over 100 archers stood ready. Suddenly, the moon blazed with light like the sun. Celestial beings stood above the clouds, arriving with drums and gongs to escort the moon maiden home. The old man immediately ordered them to shoot, but arrows turned into flower petals falling through the air mid-flight. The soldiers fell into deep sleep amid the music. The old man watched helplessly as auspicious clouds swept overhead. Kaguya drifted away from her mother as if possessed, then received the crown of the moon maiden. If she put on the celestial robe, all memories of the mortal world would be forgotten. Her parents cried out, calling the princess's name. Kaguya suddenly broke free from the divine restraints and turned back toward her parents with tears in her eyes. All her reluctance transformed into tears of longing. She rebuked the moon attendants. Compared to the cold, emotionless immortals, she cherished the warmth of humanity. But the memory-erasing robe was still placed on Kaguya's body. In that instant, everything changed. Escorted by the celestial beings, amid the old couple's wails, Kaguya ascended. Though memories of the mortal world had been erased, when she looked back at Earth, tears still covered her face. A bamboo cutter's daughter blossomed, raised deep in mountains, unknown to men. Heaven-sent beauty cannot be hidden, chosen to stand beside the throne. One smile brings 100 charms to life. The palace beauties pale in comparison. When beauty makes every man covet her, it's no longer a blessing. Nothing heaven bestowed was what Kaguya truly wanted, and everything she really wanted to have, she never got. All you can say is that fate played cruel tricks. Seeing Kaguya ascend as an immortal, the emperor lamented, "Without seeing Princess Kaguya again, what use is an elixir of immortality?" He ordered these 2 lines burned atop the mountain closest to heaven, naming it Mount Immortal, later known as Mount Fuji. Thus ends the Japanese film, The Tale of Princess Kaguya. Thanks for watching. I'm Aya Film. Like and follow for our next film together.